and welcome to Gulf News Straight Back. It was the 15th Asia Cup final tonight at the Dubai International Cricket Stadium between Pakistan and Sri Lanka. This was the fourth time that the two teams were playing each other in the final. Sri Lanka had won 2 out of the last 3. And tonight, after another thrilling encounter, Sri Lanka have won by 23 runs. That means they have secured their 6th Asia Cup title. Mr. Cricket Anis Sajan was watching every single ball. Anis, what are your thoughts on the match?
Thank you, Imran. Hello, Ashfaq Bhai. Hello, Satish. And hello to all the gorgeous people of Gulf News. Yes, if you have to ask me, when Pakistan won the toss, Babar Azam was spontaneous in saying that I want to bat, or rather bat second. And his decision was right when they had Sri Lanka on the mat at 58 for 5. But then came Hasranga as well as the Bhanuka. And they stitched a partnership which derailed Pakistan, dropped catches. And in the end, you should say that when they fielded like the Lions. And Pakistan, till Rizwan, they had a little bit of opportunity, but Pakistan were always chasing the game. And Sri Lanka deserved champions. And I have to say one line, this deserved Asia Cup champions have to play through the qualifying round for the World Cup.
Wow. Okay, let's go straight to Ashfaq. Ash, commiserations, Pakistan, they made a great start. You know, they stifled the Sri Lankan batsmen early on. But it was in the last 10 overs where the match just got away from them. They conceded, what, 105, I think 105 runs in the last 10 overs. Rajapaksa was the guy doing most of the damage. What went wrong tonight, Ash?
Imran, thank you so much. Imran, I don't want to take credit away from Sri Lanka, but Pakistan, I think in the last 10 overs, Babar Azam captaincy was horrible. He didn't put Nawaz on bowling. I don't know why. He tried his 6th bowler, Iftikhar part-timer. He did take a wicket, but then instead of bringing Rizwan, he brought Hasnan again, who was getting hit. He brought Naseem Shah, so he also got hit. He gave Nawaz only 1 over. He's a key bowler. So he got only 3 runs in 1 over, then he was not given an over. I think that, I don't know what was in his mind. So, and drop catches win matches, as you say. Drop catches, horrible drops, and it's like a street cricket by Shadab today. I mean, I'm sorry to say Shadab, the vice captain, but street cricket. He was just running into Asif and hitting him and letting him drop the catch. He almost took it, and so those catches cost Pakistan a lot. Otherwise, it would have been underfoot 140 runs game. So I would say sloppy fielding, drop catches, bad captaincy. This cost the match.
Ash, I mean, overall, Pakistan, they've had a good tournament. They've made it to the final. But you just mentioned the skipper there, bad captaincy. What has happened to Babar Azam? His form with the bat is just terrible right now.
Yeah, it's terrible. And if you see today's match, I think he was trapped. He took the fielder to get him there. And he almost narrowly escaped from the earlier delivery to delivery the same over. Then they got him on the final leg. I mean, they trapped him. Horrible, I'll say, batting lineup. He couldn't get his form. I think he should go back and think what he's planning to do. Other thing is Babar Azam. Babar Azam is also not playing well. I think they should start trying somebody else. I mean, for some time. They are good players, but today was not their day. And for Babar Azam, the whole tournament, he failed in all the matches. Not even in one match he scored, which is very worrisome because we are approaching a World Cup now. And other thing is that I would say over the batting side, Rizwan and Iftikhar, they scored. They were the top scorer, 55 runs, 32 runs. The third highest run was extra, which is 14 runs. And nobody else could enter double figure except Haris, who scored 13 at the end. I would say Rizwan and Iftikhar took very long time to start hitting. They wasted a lot of deliveries. I think one of them should have started hitting earlier. That put he got out at the wrong time, and that put pressure on the middle order. And then Asif, then Push there. The run rate, when the run rate you have 15 plus, then you need to hit every ball. I think they also made a mess of the match. So which the middle order and the tail ender couldn't achieve. The run rate was simply out of control.
Let's bring Satish in. Satish, Pakistan had won the toss. They elected to bowl. Now, as we know, so far in the tournament, the teams that have won the toss, they've bowled. They've won. I think 9 out of the 12 matches have been won. But that didn't happen tonight.
9 of 14.
What were the reasons for that?
Imran, toss has been important factor, but all along we have been talking about toss. But even we raised this question to the Sri Lankan captain as well as the Saklan Mushtaq. Saklan words probably will summarize the entire thing. Whether you bowl first or bat first, you have to win the match. That's the champion, the hallmark of a champion side. But that apart, I think what has happened is overall the wickets were slightly slow to start with when the match started. And as it progressed, it played well. Exactly, that's the same thing happened today as well. But the difference was Sri Lanka played such positive cricket that they were able to score 105 runs in the last 10 overs. That gave them that cushion. That's number one. And number two, the wicket was not spinning, but they had two of the best spinners in the world today who are the most economical, and they hunt in pairs. That's what we wrote a couple of days ago. They support each other and they hunt in pairs. And the economy is what 4 overs, they are about 20 runs, 25 runs. So that 8 overs become crucial. And in a final like this, the pressure of the final, the big score, and as Ashfaq said, the increasing run rate, all that put together. And if you look at the last 10 overs, Pakistan never was there in the match today. So that was the difference today. The wicket was played the same way as it was in the past. Just that runs were at about 20 runs extra because of the drop catches and the late assault by. Of course, I have to give plenty of credit to Hasranga, whose the short knock tilted the momentum in favor of Sri Lanka at that point of time. But apart from that, I think maybe if, as Ashwak says, the chase, the run rate, somebody had maintained the run rate instead of keeping the wickets little earlier, maybe Pakistan could have gone on to win the match probably, yes.
Anis, I've been reading your columns. You've been glowing about the Sri Lankans. They've been playing a nice aggressive style of cricket, like you've been saying before. It's lit up the tournament. Do you think they must have gained a lot of new fans around the world?
Definitely. You see, before coming into this Asia Cup, they had won probably only one game out of their 10 or 11 games. And they were low on confidence, but what cricket they were playing was good, because I remember the one game they won against Australia, where the captain led from the front and chased down a good target. In the World Cup last year in UAE, they were close, but they were not able to finish games. So they had this attacking bunch of talent, whether you talk about the Kusal Mendis or the Pasun Nisanka, or we talk about the Gulin Ntaka. They're all good players, but they were not able to get the act right. Now, finally, they have got it right. So they are a team to do well. Like Satish mentioned, they have two best spinners in Thiksana and Hasranga. And if the fast bowlers come into play, they are a difficult side to beat. And we'll have to see how they go about in the World Cup. Mind you, as I said in the beginning, they still have to play the qualifying route. They should get through that qualifying route. But how they will play on Australian wickets, because Australian wickets, I'm not sure whether it will help the spinners. But at the moment, yes, this is one country which is going through a political turmoil. This must have brought a lot of happiness to the fans of Sri Lanka. But I'm afraid it must have equally brought a sadness on Pakistani fans who expected that they would roll over Sri Lanka. But Sri Lanka was a tough team to beat in this tournament.
Let's bring
Ash
back
in a row.
Yeah, 5 in a row. Ash, let's bring you back in. There was one high point for Pakistan tonight. Haris Rauf, he started tonight's match 3 wickets short of 50. He got 3 today. So he's got 50 in T20 cricket. He done really well. But he was let down by Naseem Shah and Hasnain. They were very expensive today, weren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. If they were expensive, they should have, Babar should have bring spinners in. He had 3 quality spinners. He had Nawaz, he had Shadab, he was Iftikhar was part of. I don't know why he didn't bring them in. He put them back into bowling in the middle of the match also, and before the slog overs also. And Haris Rauf was the only savior today, because whenever he came in, he got a wicket. Even in the 4th over, he got a wicket, but Shadab dropped the catch. So he's a match winner bowler. We call him now the golden arm, as we used to call Mudassar Nazar ages ago. So he's a golden arm bowler. He broke the partnership whenever he comes. So he played well, but he was not supported well. But I think experience count here. Naseem Shah is good, but then Hasnain is good, but fast, but no experience. So when we get Shaheen Afridi back, I think Shaheen Afridi and Rauf will make difference, that combination.
Yeah, Afridi was for sure a big player for the final. Definitely, he could have been he could have made a huge difference. Anis, we've spoken about the bad start from Sri Lanka, but they were steadied by Hasaranga's 36 and then Rajapaksa's brilliant knock of 71. But without that, do you think it could have been a very different game, a bit closer as well?
Definitely. I mean, when you are at 50 for 5, and this was the last recognized pair. After that, they had the bowlers to come in. And so you have to give credit first to Hasaranga because he took the bowling, the attack to the opposition. He played shots, moved around his wicket and played right cricketing shots where the bowlers bowled to his strength. And then Bhanuka, what he did was he did not try shot with Hasaranga. He made sure he rotated the strike. And when Hasaranga left, that is when he started to attack. Okay, he had his fair chance of luck where Shadab, as is one of the best fielders, had and poor outing, as Ashfaq Bhai mentioned. 2 catches dropped. That has cost. So in the end, this margin of 20 would have been different. Who knows, 170 would have been 150. But you have to give credit to both Hasaranga and Bhanuka that they made this total portable. So Satish wants to say something.
Anis Bhai, you made a very valid point, Anis Bhai. I think the another key factor that enabled Sri Lanka to get away is because they were able to rotate strikes quite regularly. They were running the singles. And I think the attacking fielding, maybe lack of attacking fielding, or I don't know, the field placement, whatever the cause may be, they were able to rotate strikes at will. They were almost so many singles they have got. So that, when Anis Bhai said it, that really, caught on. Because when Sri Lanka was bowling, Pakistan were not able to rotate strikes as freely as Sri Lanka did. So that was a big factor as well.
Satish, while you're talking about Hasaranga,
Anis Bhai, sorry, Ashfaq.
One thing I want to add to Satish Singh, as they were good at batting, but they were outstanding in fielding today. They got 7 catches. That's mind 7 catches they got, and they were pretty good catches. And on the boundaries, they saved at least 20-30 runs. Yes. They turned doubles into singles as well. They frustrated the batsmen today.
Correct.
I mean, that's outstanding field today.
Correct.
Satish, you were talking about Hasaranga, his that over in the 17th over where he got 3
wickets.
I mean, that basically wrapped up the match. What an explosive over that was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was Imran, but the sad part is it was just he was doing the finishing act at that point of time. The match was over a few overs before, because the moment it goes to 13 runs, 12 runs, and against such a strong attack, it becomes extremely difficult. You can't. And the wicket, see, the Dubai wickets or not, you don't come and play the shots immediately. You need time to settle down. Maybe if Rizwan had stayed on for a longer period of time, maybe he would have been able to hit it. That kind of shots he would have been able to play, because that's what Bhanuka Rajapaksa exhibited. When you stay there for a longer period of time, you'll be able to judge the pace of the wicket and everything. But here, yes, I don't want to take the credit away from Hasaranga. He bowled brilliantly, but when at that point of time the batters have to go for take that high risk shots, and once that pressure comes into the batsman, bowlers like Hasaranga, they will happily bowl on those wickets, and they will make a killing.
Ashfaq, Rizwan,
go ahead, please.
Yeah, sorry, Satish was talking about Rizwan. He got 55. He was doing really well. Had he just hung on there for a little bit longer, do you think he could have taken Pakistan home?
Absolutely right. They hung on for a pretty long time. So Khan and Rizwan, I partly blame them for the loss. They should have started hitting way earlier, because both of them were taking singles. Both of them were sticking to wicket. One of them should have, Iftikhar should have gone up to the ball. He should have hit the 6s and 4s, which is required. Even if he gets out, no problem. There are players behind it, but Rizwan could stick to one end. So as Iftikhar got out, Rizwan also got frustrated, and he also went for slogging, and he got out as well. So then we started losing wicket on both hands. I think in T20 cricket, I think that they misread it, or they couldn't keep up with the scoreboard. They were not keeping the score intact. They are not scoring according to the demand. They were scoring very low what was required. So that also put them in trouble, and put the later batsmen coming into later in trouble as well. This I couldn't hit. As Satish said, they are world-class spinners. So it was not easy to score 12 runs, 13 runs in an over.
Okay, let's broaden this conversation out a little bit. Anis, which players have impressed you the most in this tournament, and who do you think is going to have a really big impact at the T20 World Cup in Australia next month?
I have to be very honest, we have to talk about Sri Lankan openers, both Kusal Mendis and Pasul Nisanka. And then Hasranga obviously has come as a brand that everybody knows he's a dangerous player. But you cannot take away anything from the captain, you know, the guy who doesn't make a lot of noise, does his job silently. And he's played some couple of crucial knocks where Sri Lanka actually needed him, be it the first match against Bangladesh or against India. So if I have to say, if I have to pick between three, I would pick the captain, because he's done the tough role of captaining a low mediocre side and taking them to this level. So Mike, you have to pick one player. I would pick this guy.
And Ash, who have you been most disappointed with in the tournament?
Of course, Babar Azam and Fakhar Zaman's second.
And Satish, lastly, last question for you, Satish. From what you've seen of these teams, from the Asian teams at least, who do you think is best equipped to maybe reach the final of the T20 World Cup in Australia next month?
I would say all teams are test playing nations, Imran. I would still say, based on this form, Sri Lanka must be having a lot of confidence. But you can't discount Pakistan or India from reaching the final, because they have the firepower. Just that they didn't click at the right place. But Australian wickets are a different ball game altogether. They are more bouncy. You don't have to worry about your toss. You don't have to worry about it. Comes on whether it's day, evening. It plays true. So all that is a factor. So I wouldn't discount both these giants to they might make the final. Both of them could make the final as well. So they are good enough for that.
Okay, guys, I think we'll end it there. So after a fortnight of thrilling action, Sri Lanka are the champions of the Asia Cup 2022. Congratulations to them. Please remember to head to gulfnews.com for all the latest news, the reviews, videos, and much more. And we shall see.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good time. See you in the World Cup.
Good night, guys. Good night.
Bye. Good.